Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to Star Nation's organization's main fan page right here at Facebook, where we do a daily live stream around the cards that were drawn in the morning, the divination cards. And it's a kind of a very cool day around here. Well, it's cold outside too. But we've got some stuff going on, some really cool stuff. Number one, we published the Star Nations magazine January 2019 issue. It's the first issue for the new year, and I got that published this morning, and yay! It was a very interesting issue to work on, to create. Yeah. The contributing writers, they oh my gosh, they share their experience, their wisdom, their heart, and we get to take their raw material and put a really pretty frame around it. Well, that pretty frame, the magazine itself, we had been testing out a few new things and then making sure that everything was consistent in this first issue. And so it kind of slowed the process down some because, we've been using the same process for at least 3 years, maybe going on 4. And so when you get in the rut, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it slowed us down a little bit, and I kept catching little things to tweak here and to tweak there. And so this morning it felt really good just to hit the publish button and get it out to you guys and have this one complete. Yep, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. The other thing that's going on is, I spend a lot of time with my laptop on the computer. George is with me today. Yeah. He was going to lay down to sleep, and then he decided to get up. So you might hear him in the background, okay? And so the other thing that happened is that we have, when you use your computer a lot, you have a lot that's kind of in a memory running in the background. And so I ended up having to shut down my laptop and restart it. And yeah, it's all that maintenance stuff. So before we get rolling with the cards, I wanted to share the broadcast and like it. And there's a little something that's a little bit different today with the broadcast, but I want to get the share done first before I explain it to you. Otherwise, I'll forget. Got to find it. Here we are. So we're going to like and we're going to share. Shh. All right, so I'm going to share it to my news feed. Oh, Georgie. And please join me. There we go. There, that's done. And if you wouldn't mind sharing and liking, I would appreciate it. It's something that we do for almost every show, right? Almost every show. And when the host remembers to do it. That's why I had to stop. Otherwise, I know I would forget. And so what is different with this broadcast, is our partners at Be Live TV. The techies there, the support team is helping me out with an issue. I usually use Be Live for these broadcasts, for these live streams, so that I can show you pictures and do all kinds of cool stuff with it, right? But today, for some reason, I couldn't schedule the broadcast. And so I have technical help kind of working in the background. They're trying to figure out what's going on. And so we're doing just a regular live stream today, a Facebook native, that's what they call it, live stream. So I'm not going to be able to put your comments up on the screen, rats, but we can still do the live stream. This is how we started, actually. This is how we started. So we'll get there. No problem, right? Right. All right. So who's all here? Julie Chamoy Hill is here. Thank you, Julie, for being here. Stephanie's here. Yay, Stephanie. And Anne is here. And Julie is saying hello, and so is Anne. Ann said, sounds like a lot of change all around. Well, sort of, yeah. Some of the bigger changes had already happened. And with the magazine, it's stuff in the background that you guys don't necessarily even see, right? You might notice it, but you might not see it. Little things like we changed the look of the header on the top. That's in the tablet or the what we call the PDF version. The text version changed a bit too. There's a little bit of a different look to the radio live stream promotions, and so little things like that. Yeah. Oh, and we've been working on a crossword puzzle to get into the magazine, and I got it a third of the way there. The digital version turns out to be a little bit more complex than I thought it was going to be. And so we have the crossword puzzle and the print on demand version of the magazine. And I have to make some decisions about the digital version and how we're going to get it into the magazine in the digital version. So you won't see it like on your iPad or on your phone. But if you do get the print on demand version, you'll see the crossword puzzle in that one, at least for now. Yeah, we have some decisions to make. Didn't realize about some of the digital stuff that the platform that we use, I have to do some intricate kind of weaving to it, and so I've got some technical help. That's not the issue. It's just it takes time. Is all. It takes time. Yeah. Hey, Minnie's here. Yay, Minnie. Minnie's here. One of my sisters. It's good to have you here. And so, yeah, it's, the 10th of every month is always fun and makes me happy, when I hit the publish button and get the magazine out. And for a lot of reasons, that it's completion for one. And also it means that I'm only working on one issue right now, not two. One issue. And so, yeah, it's good stuff. I really like this first issue for 2019. I do. A lot of the articles in there, like I shared on Tuesday night. Good stuff. I hope you guys like it. All right. So those are the changes for today. The cards, we got 2 cards today. And the first card that came is called Medicine Guardian. And we've had this card before. Medicine Guardian. It says, be open to healing information. Be open to healing information. And, the color green, right? The color green has lots of meanings to it, doesn't it? I mean, it's the heart chakra. It's the plants that are green. Green means go in some countries. Yeah. But, there's a lot going on in this particular picture, too. In the background, he's got the flower of life. And at his heart chakra, he's got the dodecahedron. The dodecahedron represents the void or spirit, ether. It's one of the platonic solids, the 5 platonic solids. And I don't know if I would call that a wand, but what's in his hand is the caduceus, right? It's about healing. Yeah, and the caduceus has so many meanings to it too. Of course, it's a sign of the medical community, but it represents life. Yeah, and he's got a chalice. Looks like a wooden chalice to me. Yeah. Nice looking young man too, don't you think? Yeah. The Medicine Guardian. And when I think of medicine, the word medicine, some people would relate it to the Western medical community, right? It's that, but I think it's so much more. When and from a Native American point of view, when I use the word medicine, I'm actually talking about the spirit of, and it's an entirety, right? So both the strengths and the weaknesses of the medicine. The strengths being, if we're talking about herbs, the healing qualities and what each one of them hold. And they do this naturally, right? And so it is, when we talk about energy or medicine, there is no good or bad. There is no light or dark. It's how the two-leggeds, us humans, how we decide to use it. Then it comes into that polarity of good or bad, positive or negative, right? And I think there's an old axiom, and Minnie, you can correct me if I'm wrong, okay? But there's an old axiom is that all plants can be both enhance your health, and it can also be a negative to your health if it's not taken in the right dose or in the right way. And that's why, that you need somebody to mentor you in that lore. In my family, we had a couple of people that knew specific medicines, specific plants. They didn't know all the plants, but they knew specific ones and what to look for. There are certain songs that you sing as you're walking through the woods looking for the plants, right? And before you even take a plant, that you're giving tobacco to it, and you only take what you need, and you always leave some there so that it can regrow and replenish itself, right? So that, to me, that's medicine, and that everything that the Creator made has medicine, has spirit. I'm warm. So this first card that was given to us, the Medicine Guardian, and also, since we're part of nature, humans, us two-leggeds, so we have medicine too. And just like the plants and the stones and the crystals, our medicine is neither negative or positive, good or bad, until we start to use it in its application, and then we make the decision on how we're going to use it. So here's one of my favorite words, hence you have either good medicine or bad medicine. And sometimes you'll hear people talking about bad medicine, and that is implying that another person is either using their medicine, their personal medicine, in a way to do harm, or they're using plant medicine or stone or crystal medicine in a way to do harm. Yeah. And so we talk about that as bad medicine. So does that make sense? It's one of those belief systems, I think, that sometimes it makes you stretch a bit in accepting that belief or bringing it in to be a part of your world, because not everybody grows up with this, this kind of perspective of it. Sometimes we don't get it until we're much older. And yeah, got to move my phone because otherwise it's making buzzy sounds. I've got to... Can't put it on a hard surface. All right, so let's find out what Kyle Gray has to say about the Medicine Guardian. It says, be open to healing information. Listen to what is coming up within you and what's being shared with you by trustworthy others in your life. Pay attention to the healing information. The healing information. So healing information, of course, there's lots to that too, isn't there? There are healing information for all aspects of us, whether it's our physical body, our mental body, our emotional body, or our spiritual body. And so there's a lot of information. And let me tell you, we get inundated with information, don't we? Lots of it comes at us every minute, every second. Our bodies are taking in information. And so when it comes to healing information, using that discernment, right? Using that discernment. I'm trying to remember. I think maybe it was Polly Joe. I've listened to a couple of different live streams this week. I'm trying to remember who said this because I want to give it the correct attribute. That when we use our discernment, when we talk about our discernment, we're really talking about connecting to our higher self, our highest aspect of ourself, our soul, our spirit self. Okay. And that part of us is what is doing the discernment rather than our mental mind. Because our mental mind doesn't always give us the information in its wholeness, right? I think that's a good way to put it. That we get it in pieces and fractions. And when we connect to our higher self and go for the discernment from our higher self, the information comes from a wholeness, a holistic place. And so when we meditate or when we pray or when we ask for help, ask for clarity, right? That's what the discernment is. Yeah. All right. So what else does Kyle say? He says healing angels can help you heal emotionally, spiritually, and physically with their energy, but they can also direct you towards information that will help you to return to wholeness. When this card appears, information is being revealed that can help you heal an aspect of your current situation, whether that's your health, a relationship, or even your career. So be alert for the information. The Medicine Guardian has a caduceus that's a healing wand, which represents the capacity to heal with the power of will and desire. And there's a chalice that represents returning to a state of wholeness, a state where your cup is no longer full, but overflowing with goodness. The emerald color of the card represents the healing rays of Archangel Raphael and his healing angels. So, Raphael. How many people in the live chat, how many people call on Archangel Raphael when there's healing work to be done? Whether it's your own healing or someone else's. Asking for help, right? Asking for help. I've certainly have done that in the past. And sometimes, like when you're driving along, and you come upon, maybe there was an accident, a crash of some sort, and either the EMT people are already there, or maybe it just happened and people are pulling over, right? There's a couple of times I've called on Archangel Raphael to come and to help those that need healing and to work through the EMTs for the highest good, right? Or sometimes when or because you don't know what's really needed, is that I just ask that the angels of the most appropriate realms to please come and help those that are involved in that crash, and to give them the best possible care. And if they're frightened, to be there to console them. And if they're in pain, to help alleviate their pain, And so sometimes I don't know all the angels in all the realms. And so that's my way of asking for help, is that the angels are the most appropriate realms. Yeah. So I'm wondering, yeah, there we go. Hey, Carla Jan is here too. Hello, Carla. Good to have you here. And Cindy Ferris is here too. Hello, Cindy. It's always good to have you in the chat. And Julie said, I have. So you've called on Archangel Raphael. Yeah. Most people, when they're talking about archangels, the predominant one is usually Archangel Michael, right? Um, but the archangels, they have what do they call that host? A host of angels that work with them, and in their specific ray or vibration frequency. And so asking for the help, certainly, there's plenty to go around. Plenty to go around. All right, so here's what else Kyle has to say. He says that you are being exposed to information and insights that will have a dramatic healing effect upon your life. If you are working through something mentally and emotionally, know that there are spiritual energies supporting your healing. If you're working through something that's physically challenging, pay particular attention to information that's coming to you that feels inspired, insightful, and warm. It will be supportive of your wellness. Your angels are here to remind you that your natural state is one of wholeness, and you are on the road to revealing that wholeness once more. Yeah. I just had this memory go flip through. The last time we had this card, within a day, at least within a day, I got introduced to Bob Huntington. Now, I've known about Bob, but I've never actually met him, and I met him through Minnie Kansman. Bob and his wife signed up for one of our classes here in Toma. Didn't know that they had a friend in Toma, and so they drove over from Michigan and got to meet Bob and sit down and in between. I think it was at lunchtime. Sat down and talked a little bit, got to know each other much better, and Bob Huntington is a nurse practitioner, and he really knows his stuff. And as he was talking to me about DNA, this was in the back of my mind, thinking, oh, this is all about that card we got the other day. And so, to be open to the information, and that was when I first heard about the book Dirty Genes. That was the first time, and Bob is the one who brought that information to me. And since then, our gift to each other, for Paul and I, for Christmas, because we don't usually get each other something. I mean, we've been together for 40 years. If we want something, we'll get it, right? And so what we did for Christmas this year is we went through ancestry.com and we did the DNA work. Sent in our spit to ancestry.com. And it took me a while to do that because, from a Native American point of view, sharing my DNA, there's a lot of belief systems around that. And there's some of my relatives probably wouldn't agree with me in doing what I did. But the reason why we did is because they don't just tell you where your genetic lineage comes from or your percentage of this and that, right? They will also give you genetic information about your DNA. And Bob says that because he's studying to get certified in this, is that they can use that information to show us which DNA are clean and which are dirty. And if they're dirty, then there's certain stuff and certain way to eat, basically, and clean up your environment, right? And so that your DNA actually speak to each other and their communication isn't garbled. And so it's really about having a healthy body. So that's why we did it. Paul got his results already. Mine aren't going to be in until like the 18th. I told him, I said, they probably saw it was Native American DNA, and so now they're going to really take a look at it. God. Hey, Rochelle Ashley is here. Rochelle, it's so good to have you here. I hope you're doing well out there in the West. And Jocelyn's here. Hey, Jocelyn. Hello to you too. And Cindy said, me too. And I had it a month before I sent it in. Yeah, I know. I kind of sat with it for a little bit, and we talked about it. And I brought it up to my sisters in our monthly call. Had said that we were thinking about doing that, and I didn't want to come from a place of fear with it, you know. And I don't think I did, because what I was my intention is about my physical health, my physical health. And if there's something I can do to feel not so tired, other than getting more sleep, um, that's something I can do, right? And so just even reading the book helped. It's stuff I've already known, a lot of it. There's some new things in there that I didn't. But it was like a validation. Okay, I keep hearing this. This is repeating itself now, this information. So it must be something that I have to really take seriously. You know, eating more green, leafy food, like not romaine, but kale and those kinds of lettuces. And yeah. So anyway, that is what I meant about this particular card, is being open to the information that you might be hearing coming your way. Because, here we are, we're starting out this new year, this 2019. And so there might be something that you have decided that you want to place your intention on for this new year. Whether, it's your physical health or something. And so asking your spiritual team to bring you the information that's needed, to bring you the qualified healers to you. Now that doesn't mean that they have to have a piece of paper hanging on a wall. That just means that they're qualified and they have, they're using their gifts in a good way, right? To bring you really good people. And so using your spiritual team to bring you the information or the assistance. Yeah. So does that make sense? Anybody out there have their intentions set for the year that you'll want to be asking your spiritual team about? Hey, Julie Hedges is here. Hi, Julie. She says, hi there, late to the party. Never late. You're divine timing. You're always right on time. You're right on time to hear what you were supposed to hear or see what you're supposed to see. And Rochelle is saying, bonjour, Neshi. Bonjour to you too, Rochelle. Nijana, meaning what's going on? What's happening? Nijana. And Violet's here. Hi, Violet. Violet, guess what came in the mail? Just before I came up here to do the live stream, our mail was delivered, and he had to bring it to the door. And the reason why he had to bring it to the door, because there was a box that was delivered. And so the products came, and I didn't get a chance to open it yet. I'll be able to do that later tonight. Yeah, so I just wanted to let you know it's here. Julie says, my husband, my mother, and I did the Ancestry DNA test a couple of years ago. We found that my husband has 3% Native American, which has shown in some of my genealogy research. Wow. So that's good, some good validation for him, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I haven't, we took a look at Paul's the other night, but to tell you the truth, I was so immersed in Star Nation stuff because I had deadlines I had to meet, that I really didn't take it all in. And so we're going to sit down this weekend and make time and really take a look at it. And I need to contact Bob Huntington to see if we have to come there for him to read the information, or if we can do it from a distance, or maybe I should ask him if he wants to come and teach a class here, and then he could help Paul and I during the off time or something. So yeah, I think it's pretty exciting. Hey, Bobby, coming in too. Hi, y'all. Hey, Bobby, it's always good to have you here. Cindy said, I'm asking for help in any negative thought or doubts keeping me from being completely free of all opiates after 13 years. Oh my gosh. That's huge, Cindy. That's huge. My mom does take pain reliever called tramadol. And it's a really low dose, but it's still an opiate, right? And she's really always concerned about being hooked on it. And there, if she was like in her 60s or 70s even, I would say, yeah, that, let's look at something else to use. Talking to the nurse about it, she was saying, especially in the elderly, that how the body breaks down the chemistry of the opiate, no matter what it is that after, I think she said it was 21 days, I think she said 21 days, that our body adjusts to the point that it's no longer bringing in the pain relief to the part of the body that we need it. What happens is that our brain starts to kick in and say, "Oh, I need that. I need that," and so that is the piece of the addiction, right? And that the physical body, where you actually need the help with the pain relief, doesn't even receive it. Doesn't even receive it. It's the mind that's doing that counter stuff. Yeah. So good for you, Cindy. To have that intention and really asking your team for assistance, no matter what it is. Nothing's too small and nothing's too big. So whatever it is, especially, are you going? Are you going through any withdrawal yet? Because I would think that would be really tough. And so to make sure that you have a support in the physical world and also support coming from your spiritual team, to do that. Yeah. Somebody else was just telling me too that they were doing Chinese medicine for pain relief, obviously, but more importantly was to get the residue of the opiates out of their body, and they were doing cupping. And I know a few other people who've done cupping too, after surgery to get the anesthesia out of their body. So good for you, Cindy. Let us know how it's doing. We'll be there for you. We'll say some prayers for you. We'll send you some good love and energy. Julie Hill says, I'm asking to help getting closer to home with my career so that I can spend more time with my husband and my mother. Family time. It's good stuff. And Violet Colby says, I will have to take the time to ask for help. I'm glad you got the products. I'm 1/16th Cherokee. Well, good. You got some native ancestry going on there. And Julie Hedges says, I'm taking nature journaling course for 12 months. This is great therapy. Well, good for you, Julie. I know that you had shared that with me, and I'm glad that it got started and that you're going, Yeah. Why not, right? Why not? Yeah. So our healing, our medicine, the medicine that we need comes in many, many different forms. Many different forms. And this particular card this morning reminded me of being open and being aware of information that's coming in, because it can come in any form. This live stream, it could come in a form of maybe it's an ad, of all things, right? Not that you have to buy the product from the ad, but maybe that it has some information on there that kind of clicks for you, and so it can come from any form. It's like the other day, we were talking about, I forget what we were talking about, but it was, we had information about Linda Black. What was her last name? Violet, do you remember? Yeah, I was going to try to see if I could get her to come to the academy to talk about, because she's an ethnobotanist, and she happens to be Native American. She was at Standing Rock. She was very, very influential in getting all of the healing people together from Western medicine, Eastern medicine, Native medicine, and bringing them all together at Standing Rock so that when they were helping somebody, a patient, that the patient was actually seen very holistically. That everything from the doctor or nurse practitioner through techs and Reiki people and massage people and Linda's aspect of it from the native perspective. And so it was more holistic than ever been experienced in other places. Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember her full name though. That's it. Julie Black. Julie saying Black Elk? No, no, no. Her name was Black, but Linda something Black. And see, that's what happens when you've got like 20 different things going on at one time. Julie Hedges says, I'm doing acupuncture to support some healing initiatives. I've been very emotionally draining. Yeah. And so that's the part of the healing process, right? And okay, so to be in the flow of it, and as soon as we start the resistance, which is maybe even a natural response in some ways, us two-leggeds always have to make things more complicated. As soon as we start the resistance to the healing process, it tends to get harder, right? Yeah. And I know, you know this, Julie, is to call on your spiritual team and ask for those that are on your spiritual team who can best assist you in getting through and expressing this emotional piece in a healthy way and as graceful as possible. Yeah. Minnie said she said, I started a 30-day online yoga class today and ordered a book recommended by Patty Heredia for homeopathic hormone enhancement. Oh, that's good stuff. So we're dealing with menopausal stuff, right? Yeah. Mine isn't so bad anymore. I mean, it's still there. Don't get me wrong. On occasion, I'm still getting hot flashes, but they're not as intense. They don't last as long, and they're few and far between. But definitely attached to the emotional aspect. Good for you, though, Minnie. Yeah, can you share the name of the book with us, please? And Roberta is saying, my team and I are clearing out old, not needed juju. I realized it a while back that it needed to be moved out and perfect timing that Polly Joes and her team verified it last night. Well, good for you, Bobby. Good for you. That also means that you're on the right track then. Yeah. Great validation, huh? And Cindy's saying, I'm losing my family practitioner to shamanism and alternative medicine, and she has helped me set up a plan together to wean off safely. Oh, you got a really good supportive doctor then. Yeah, it sounds like you're on the right path too, Cindy. Good for you. Good for you for taking that step, right? All right, so to support this card, Mother Earth showed up. She wants to take care of all her kids, all of us, right? She gives us everything that we need to grow and to expand and to be healthy. Everything. And so she wants to make sure that we're taken care of. And that's another good reason to be grounded to her on a daily basis. So, you know what the question is? How many people in the live stream audience, how many has done their grounding today? You know, most methods of grounding last about 12 hours, as well as your protection, depending on what you're using. And so, to get into a good habit of doing your grounding at least twice a day. in the morning, and before you go to bed. So you're all ready for all that good information coming through your dreams, right? Through the dream state. So I'm going to give that a second and actually be more precise, 15 seconds for replies and answers to come through about the grounding. Violet said, I have really benefited, can't read, from Poly Joe meditations this week. I'm bringing in more love. Oh, excellent. And since I produce her show, I'm there every week. And so just to be in the energy field of that meditation has been extremely helpful. Now, I couldn't do it last night, but there's times when I can actually do the meditation with you guys. I talk to my team and say, I know that I have to be involved with making sure that everybody who wants a card, their name gets on the list. So as I'm doing this, please help me to take in the energy that's needed for my intention. And my intention is to have full access to all of my gifts and to experience what it's like to be able to apply them 100%, which means that there's healing that has to happen in order for me to do that. And so, so I get to do that every week. Yay, Violet said she did her grounding. Julie says, love the reminders about Insta about grounding. Yeah. As long as that's why we do that though, Julie, is so that we remember to do it. Julie Shumway Hill says she did, and Stephanie has done it, and she says have to book out for speech in a few minutes. Okay, all right. Say hi to Ben for us, okay? And thanks for all your help, Stephanie. And he said, Revitalize Your Hormones by Dr. Teresa Dale. Revitalize your hormones. Okay. So those of us who might be interested in reading that book, whether you're right smack dab in the middle of menopause, or if you're just starting and you're thinking, what the heck is going on? Because sometimes it's so subtle, you don't realize it's starting until you're far enough along and you get that first real crying jag or your first really big hot flash, and you think that you're going to, what's that called? Spontaneously combust. Paul used to say, God, you're radiating so much heat. And I said, tell me about it. In the beginning, I didn't break a sweat. And so it was like, yeah. And I remember when the first time I broke a sweat with it. Yeah. That book could possibly really be very helpful to a lot of people, both men and women. I said, grounded. I also see a natural path for energy and hormonal balancing. Excellent. Yeah. I was just thinking about, we have somebody here in Toma who is Maggie Ryan. She comes in, several times a week for patients, and she is a practitioner of Chinese medicine. And so she does acupuncture and she does the cupping. Paul has been to see her for pain with gout. He was in extreme pain, and she helped him a great deal alleviate that pain. And because he didn't want to take the pain medication, makes him feel funny, right? And so that was very helpful. Very helpful. You guys are on roll. All right, so Mother Earth, it says, feel loved and comforted. Feel loved and comforted. And so as we pair that up with the Medicine Guardian card, being open to information, is that, we can certainly have the assistance of Grandmother Earth Mother Earth to help us, right? The first one is being grounded to her. So as soon as we ground to her, our frequency begins to shift and change, so that we can be better aligned with her. And so that way we're a heck of a lot more stable, calmer, and that we're in a place that, since we are more stable, that we are able to take in and hear. I'm going to put that in quotation marks. Hear information that's coming in. Yeah. So you can really grab onto it and absorb it, and take what in your bodies are going to take what it really needs from that information, right? So Mother Earth is doing her bit to help us. And don't you just love the card, how she's depicted in this one? It's a very goddessy kind of card, isn't it? Because you got the goddess in the background, and you have her covered with ferns and ivy and grape leaves and butterflies. And if you notice where the butterflies are located on her, near her ears, on her head, top of the head, behind her, she's got swirls, the New Grange energy swirl on her shoulder. Gorgeous. She has the crescent moon on her third eye. Yeah. She loves us. She loves us. She loves her divine children. Provides us with everything that we need. Let's see what Kyle has to say about Mother Earth. Here she is. The message is, allow yourself to be cherished. Mother Earth is protecting you with a shield of love and light. Oh, she's protecting us with a shield of love and light. George is very comfortable right now. He's sleeping on his back. Paws up. Pretty soon he'll start snoring. He's very comfortable. So Mother Earth is protecting us with a shield of love and light. Don't you find that comforting? That she does that automatically. We didn't ask her to do that. She's a mom. She wants to know that her children are protected and that we're loved. He also says that Mother Earth is only covered by leaves in this card, showing the vulnerability of the earth. Every day she experiences challenges that she has to adapt and to overcome. Her energy, represented by the symbol of the pagan triple goddess, the maiden mother crone, behind her, can help you adapt as the changes of life come your way. Yeah, because think about it. What is it? The earth is 65,000 billion years old. Billion, not thousand, billion years old. And look how much she's had to adapt over all of those billions and billions of years. And I find it amazing. And she's still allowing us to be here, even after her children have been, in many ways, very disrespectful to her. You think about even the smallest things, like plastic straws. Or the bottles that the water comes in, the plastic bottles. You think that it doesn't mean anything. It's just one straw, for goodness sake. God. And you multiply that by what's the population, and she hasn't shaken us off, because she could really easily. but she loves us. And so she's adapting and adjusting. And the thing is that she's the one who's leading the way in the ascension, right? It's as long as we are in a range of her frequency, we get to stay with her. Yeah. And so if you're still here, you're in her frequency. It's a gift. It's a gift that she's given to us. And so is gravity. Did you know that gravity is female? It's a sentient being. It's a part of her that literally hugs us every single day, every second. We're being hugged by her. Yeah. So she's here to support the information about the medicine guardian that that she's here to take care of us, to provide that support that we need to be healthy. Healthy and balanced in all our bodies. There's a couple of things that jumped out at me in Kyle's writing. He said that if you have felt ungrounded, know that Mother Earth is here to root you and help you regain your sense of strength. So anytime we feel wobbly, that we just don't, we know something's wrong, but we just can't put our finger on it. You kind of feel lost in a way, is to stop and take the moment, the couple minutes it takes to ground. No matter where you are, you can ground anywhere, and it's more about the intention, and that it's coming from your heart, right? And no matter what method you use to ground, it's so much better if you can get outside and just even stand on a patch of grass. Even better if you can ask a tree for assistance, right? One of our relatives for assistance. Or if you can use a stone or a crystal, one that's pretty grounding, and to be able to just put it in your pocket or hold it, right, to help you ground. We have all kinds of help. And the other thing that he says is that you're being guided to make choices that are based in love. Based in love. And that she says that it's an auspicious card because in the eyes and the heart of Mother Earth, you are her child, and she is highly protective of her baby and will give you everything you need to grow and expand. So she's here to support us. Yeah, I like this. It's a very uplifting information, don't you think? That we have everything that we need to grow and to expand, to feel supported. All we have to do is ask, and to pay attention to the information that's coming that you might already have. How many of us have a stack of books sitting on a chair or a table someplace that we haven't read it yet? I do. How many of us have books that are ready to be downloaded on your mobile device to be read? Yeah. What about the audiobooks, right? Yeah. So, almost at the top of the hour. I wanted to thank you guys for joining me this afternoon, both in the live chat and also in the recorded. Thank you so much, really. The other thing that I wanted to add is that anything that you heard today, whether it was in the live chat, people sharing their information, their experience, And also anything that was shared through the cards, the essence of the cards. If it resonated with you, if it felt good to you, please embrace it. Pick it up and embrace it. And notice how the energy unfolds for you today, or has unfolded for you today, and where this information is helpful. Whether you're using it directly or if you're maybe a witness, right? That either way, it's good. We're learning something in either case. But if it didn't resonate with you, that's okay too. Don't worry about it. You can just let it lay. It just wasn't for you today. Maybe tomorrow. You never know. And I always say, maybe you're a messenger. Maybe you know somebody that has been looking for the information or enjoys this kind of conversation, and you can just share the link with them. And that'd be good. And then you're done. It's like, did my job. You're being a conscientious light worker, energy worker. And the other thing I want to share about, let me think, of course, Star Nations Magazine, January issues out there, ready for you guys to read. And I'm trying to think, there was something else I was going to remind you of. It's gone. All right. So next week, starting on Tuesday, we have Polly Jo LeBay's show, Chakra Sessions, at noon. And we have my weekly show, Communications from Home, at 8 p.m. Eastern. And Polly Jo's show, noon, is at Eastern as well. And then on Wednesday afternoon is Nature Adventures with me and my sister, my co-host, Minnie Kansman. And that is on at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then on Wednesday night, the weekly show with Polly Jo LeBay, Soul Connections, that is on at 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay. And, and if you're looking for a place to be able to come and have, get your healing work in, that you're working with your spiritual team and you have your own intention of what needs to be healed or released, Wednesday night's a great night to do that. And then on Thursday, I'm trying to think, what's the date on Thursday? Okay, that's the 17th. What I want to remind you of, or actually, it's not even a reminder. It's more of an announcement. We have a brand new show starting this month, Angel Therapy with Maureen Mann, and her premiere show is on Thursday, the 24th at 4 p.m. Eastern. Angel Therapy with Maureen Mann. You're gonna love her. She's, of course, all about angels, but she also will be bringing information about mindfulness to us. And yeah, it's going to be good. So please put it on your calendar to join us on Thursday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern for Maureen's very first show. Okay. We'll get more promos out for you too, so you guys can take a look at it. And with that, enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your Thursday. And we'll see you back here tomorrow, Friday, for tomorrow's live stream and card draw. All right. So, Bama Mina, that means in Potawatomi, until we see each other again. Love you guys.